Hello, my lovely starborns. Welcome to your collective reading. So, I will be using the Mystic Margin deck for the first time here on my channel. So, let's see who wants to come in. This is a collective message for my lovely starborns. Messages for the star seeds, for the star trees, for the cosmic beautiful beings, for the 144K, the non-dogmatic 144K, the lovely light workers, messages for the Starseed Collective. Who has a message? Who wants to come through? Let's see. I'm super excited to see comes out. Flower of Life, Tall Whites, the Nordics are here, and the Element of Fire. And Alpha Draconians are underneath. Hmm. I feel like the collective is going through massive shift, right? Where first of all, the ripple effect is getting very loud. Every little action that we take, every little choices, it's all affecting the bigger flower that we are all a part of, right? I feel like there's a major activation at play, and we have the tall whites here, especially with the draconian energy underneath. The major shift that the collective is going through is connected to the issues of betrayal, mistrust, the themes of isolation and separation is highlighted, all right? Because the nature of this reality, the density is such that sensitive light workers witness all kinds of darkness here on this planet, okay? And regardless of how ancient we are, the human nature and the emotional element that we all have access to, it is such that it is very difficult to navigate life on Earth, especially for sensitive beings like starseeds. It's very difficult. And when I say starseeds, again, um, starseeds have both the light and dark element at play, okay? These are ancient souls, so even reptilians and draconians here are starseeds, right? And most starseeds have to kind of deal with these energies too in their own DNA that can bring up really dark shadows to the surface, that can really separate us from this unity consciousness that we are here to ground, that we are all part of, you know. And this is actually reminding me of the 144K, how the flower of life always reminds me of the earth grid, right? Look at it. It's like a, you can think of it like the earth is within, you know. Okay, so I'll give you an example. So, like, let's say this is earth, okay? This is earth. And you see how the earth is kind of divided with, like, the lines of latitude and longitude, right? These are imaginary lines that create grids here on earth, right? And those are mostly like four-sided, like a cube. But over here, like, these are triangular, right? So think of it as a cube. So these, like a square, so these grids, every grid, I don't exactly know how many grids are there. Let me actually just see before I talk about this. But I do know, like, we have 90 degrees, 90 to 90, like 90 in the north and 90 in the south. So 180 degrees from North Pole to South Pole, and then from the east side to the west side, we have 180 degree. That 180 degree each, and Greenwich is the 0 degree meridian. It's the middle imaginary line from which 180 degree goes to the west side and 180 degrees goes to the left side, and together as a sphere it becomes the 360 degree, right? Yeah, okay, so let me just see how many grids we have. So almost like, mm, 288 plus two more, but it could also be eight. Wait a minute. Eight. 296. Almost 296 grids. But these are not equal in shape, of course, because of the nature, the very shape of the earth, right? It's not equal, but yeah, especially the North Pole and the South Pole. So if you remove those two poles, almost like 288, I would say 288 grids. All right, now wherever there is land, that's where you have life, at least on the surface. There is life inside the water too, like there are beings inside water, but we are just talking about humans, so humans are not living inside water as of now. These other beings are different species and different beings, but the Nordics are here. What is happening here? The message here is the division that is caused by the Draconians here on this planet, alright? The division, the cult, the cults that are created by these beings. Like, we look at these big organizations, foundations, and even the entertainment industry, be it in any country, these are all tainted places because these are old structures that are going to be destroyed. All these old structures are going to be destroyed because, first of all, it's long overdue, and also because they don't serve a purpose anymore. And when I say old structures, you'll be surprised what happens in the next 10 years. It's not just, I'm not only talking about Hollywood or Bollywood or Tollywood or I don't know how many woods there are. All these woods, woods, yeah. They go to the woods to do their woo stuff, right? The dark spirit cooking and whatnot, whatever the hell they're up to. Corruption, right? The corruption, unethical energy that they have flooded Mother Earth with. All of this affects the light workers, okay? Especially pre-awakening, during the period of pre-awakening. So a lot of time is used and utilized to actually get out of the conditioning of these old programs, to decondition, to peel off layer after layer after layer of your own being in order to get to the core of it all, where you retrieve your light that you have always held. But it's so funny that the light workers, right, they spend, especially initial years, they spend a lot of time feeling that there is something unique about them, but not being able to actually witness the light that they hold. It is only after the awakening process, when they are fully ignited on the journey of ascension, thanks to the fire, and the Kundalini rises. That's when all these revelations happen, you see. And you see, the fire element has the number 30. Why is it important? Why is it number 30? Because usually, this energy is fully consolidated after the Saturn return, and it coincides with Saturn return, right? Many of you, especially if you are entering your return or getting just out of your Saturn return. And it doesn't have to be the first one only, this could also be your second return. Regardless, yeah, there's kundalini activation here, which is helping you do what? It is freeing you. This is liberation. This is also liberation from limiting beliefs, from con old programs, yeah, conditioning, old programs and all of that, yes, but also like, paranoia, a level of paranoia that comes in, where we become overprotective because we're so sensitive. We're so sensitive that we don't know what else to do with it, with ourselves. So we decide to hide away. We decide to kind of isolate ourselves in order to feel safe, secure. But again, that's not what you're here for. And again, I'm not saying that, go put yourself out there when you're just like overstimulated and you're just like you have to actually go within and do the work. I'm not telling you to do all of that. It's different for each one of you. There's a general reading, collective reading, right? But what I'm feeling here is for many of you, that time is up. The time of isolation is up. The time of just being overproductive of your energy is up. Also, the time of fear is up, because some of you have dealt with really dark beings, especially with draconians showing up here. It's like really dark beings, okay? But especially the kind of draconian that is showing up, remember, it's a draconian, it's not a reptilian. And underneath we have the blue avian energy. So what I'm seeing here is, this is also empowerment, okay? This is also empowerment, where you're not letting your shadow to take control of your life. You're not letting the fears to take control. None of that. You are actually seeing through all the division and coming together, saying yes, saying yes to what you're here for. And this is again happening at a subtle level. This is energetic shift that is happening here, especially with the abstract symbol showing up. Again, it's not that abstract. If you actually like, meditate, you'll see the flower of life popping up every now and then. It's kind of crazy. Freaks me out every time it shows up, because it has this weird energy with it. Weird in a good way. Every time I see it, it's always pink, by the way, so it's great that it's depicted pink. It's always pink, but at the same time, like, these gaps here in between the triangles, they always have this rainbowish, almost like titanium or a quartz like thing going on, and it just keeps blinking, it keeps blinking. And so when you see that, I don't know what it does. It does something. It just activates. Some of you could be going through this sort of experience. You could be getting activated that way. The flower of life is like really not leaving you alone. Let's see, what is this about? Where's the book? Come here. You see the progression 29 and then 30, and in between you have the 12 whites. And the 12 whites are, again, you can kind of like think of them as, they're productive of their energy. They are very productive. They are very like single-minded about what it is that they are here to do. And there is almost like this, almost, I don't know how to say this. mm, they're kind of aloof. They're aloof. Yes, and also skeptical, sometimes over skeptical. So which can, like, make them very guarded about who they are, and guarded about their own energy, which is kind of required because they understand the nature of this realm, right? And they're very sensitive too. So again, it's a defense protective mechanism. Some of you, I feel like, that has been your story. It is your story. You are also in this phase where you are uncertain. You're uncertain about certain topics. Some of you, you're dealing with spiritual warfare in your DNA. You're transmuting the draconian codes, because the overall energy is what? saying no to the toxicity. And this is the kind of toxicity that has persisted for some time, quite some time. I'm going to get some Egyptian cards now. But look, in all of this, you're being activated, you're being inspired, you're being ignited, you're being, you're realizing something. Many of you, this is self-realization. Look at that. I'm gonna take it because all the three showed, right? They showed themselves. Oh, four. We have four. Look at that. Satet, Meh Earth, Amsu, and then we have Amit right under the fire. And then again we have 33 here in between. There's definite activation for you guys. An activation on play for you guys. Look at that. She this is like she's activating. You know, the energy of the old cult that is present here on earth since at least 2 centuries. It came in for a reason because with the tall whites, they do not like, they're the kind that even when they're assisting other beings, like there's when they're assisting humans, even then it's like they never take their attention away from their family, no matter what it is that they are doing. All right, they're very focused on their children. Now they are serving an important purpose when it comes to what's going on here on earth, because who is the most targeted here on earth? Children. Yes. So even when you look into all these cults, they are up to all kinds of garbage which is focused around children. And what do we have here? Amit. Just expect expect certain structures to like go down forever, like being swallowed by a black hole. That sort of energy. That is what is happening. So it's the whites who are helping the collective do that. And they're very detached, okay? They're only focused on helping the human children. And they do not like interacting with grown ups at all. They're very cynical, very distrustful, and it is more so because of the other freaks, you know, who they are, like the ones they are up against, basically. So it's very difficult for them to look at the normal humans the same way, which, in my opinion, it makes total sense. So in a way, they're very like, you know, family focused. But the shift that is here, I feel like this is an incoming energy. Just a minute. I just feel like a great shift is happening here on Earth, and it is very hidden, especially with these monkeys in the background. What I'm seeing here is, again, it has to do with some really dark stuff, like disgusting stuff. And of course, who is here to make that shift? It's the 144K. What is this? Let's see more. What is this? Tell us more about the Draconians. Seven of Cups. All right. Show me. Mm, it is. I do feel like, there's there's a victory here for humans. Yes. So I don't know exactly what is going on, and also this is really not my area of expertise at all. But especially with Amit being here right under the fire element, what I feel like there are certain toxicities that have plagued the earth for a long time. Long, long time, okay? It was almost like it it has been practiced for so long that it has become a normal, especially for the elite. Okay, that's where Pluto is about to do its thing. Pluto is about to really cause moments after tower moments in some of these people's lives, and these are the people who are in charge of these rings, of these cults, of these organizations, of whatever the garbage that goes on in the world, especially the sexual kind. And I feel like something is kickstarting with the upcoming Jupiter transit. It's like annihilation. Okay, something fell. Wait. Okay, let's see. Tell me more about. Okay, and what am I telling you? And it showed up with the Page of Cups. And another page. What are the Nordics doing? What are the Soviets doing? Alright. Show me the Emperor. What is this? 333? Yeah. It's the end of some compromised bloodlines. It cannot continue anymore. These are the bloodlines that anyway lack connection. They're not connected to the cosmic tree. I mean, they're there, but it's like the branch that connects them to the tree, it has been cut off. So they're just like hanging there by a thread. These are the bloodlines I'm talking about. And these bloodlines seem to be thriving here on Earth for a long time. And they've been doing their crap. And they've been traumatizing the humans. And it's not just slavery of the mind and soul, but also body. It's like certain locks were put in place. This is for the entire collective I'm talking about. This is a collective reading, okay? And it really affected the children, and a lot of issue that we see here, and we blame the people who are suffering. That we're blaming, we're victim blaming, all of that. This energy is going to subside. It needs to kind of like, be worked through. It has to kind of like go. Certain things cannot continue anymore. It is about to. I don't know what is this. What is this? Like, what really is this? But I feel like a major Tao moment coming in for the dark side, and this is a major victory for the ones who walk in the light. Tell us more about it. I just saw the Nine of Swords is just hanging here. I feel like these people, they're afraid. Like these old bloodlines, these I'm hearing bankers. They're afraid. What are they afraid of? They're afraid of something. Uh, they're afraid of equality. They've been eating everyone's share. Yeah, and they've been this domination is coming to an end because these people, I'm getting like the soul is disintegrating. It's disintegrating. Some souls go back to the source. Most do actually. But there are certain souls. That is why, I don't even like want to call it soul, but that's how we call it here. Soul is kind of considered to be an essence, right? You can think of it as an essence that in its initial form it is godly, right? Because it is coming from the source, the spirit. But through the process of reincarnation and interdimensional life that we have, and what we choose to do with the soul, the original source connection can be lost due to life choices that one makes, right? And especially the dark bloodlines that we're talking about, their souls are marked with repetition of the darkest kind, where the god essence was lost long ago, like long long ago, and they should have perished long ago. That is why they're cut off from the cosmic tree, but they did not. And they've been doing their best. They've been trying to survive by one means or the other. Yeah. And yeah, like, they came here on earth and occupied earth and did whatever they did. They hijacked humans, and they entered the humans vessel. Like, these are like beings with no physical vessel as such. These are very high dimensional beings, so they are basically like, consciousness in a way. Now the nature of this soul is consciousness. That's what it is. Soul is consciousness, right? Now, how much are you tapped in when it comes to the soul side, right? But through repetitive BS, you lose the original source print, because it's energy, right? It's all energy, and it keeps changing form. It keeps changing form. So With every dark choice that you make, the fall becomes a repetitive fall. And that's what these dark bloodlines have witnessed. They're not just fallen, they are like fallen again and again and again, and they cannot help but keep falling, because that is what it is. Because all this parasitic behavior is not going to help your bloodline survive, right? It will not. Because in order to sustain themselves, the kind of scrap that they have to do is such that no matter how many times you procreate or what you do, you will keep doing the same crap. So redemption is not an option for certain beings, and these are the beings who control major institutions, organizations, places. They are in like powerful places here on earth. And we keep talking about how it's their time is up and all that. Yeah, it is up. But this is a gradual process, right? This is a gradual process, and one thing at a time, but at the same time, in the background, everything is happening all at once. So there is disintegration of these dark bloodlines that is happening here on earth right now. And the twilights are helping, especially when it comes to the issues surrounding human children. Because that source energy is in its purest and most vital form when it comes to the children. So you can understand why they do what they do to our children. And this also includes killing them. That is also, especially masculine, that is also a ritual. So what is different around this time is these draconians, these reptilians, these fallen beings who cannot have redemption, not in this life, not in any life actually, because whatever they have turned into is being swallowed by a black hole. And yes, what happens in the black hole is now alchemy happens in the black hole, because you cannot return in that murky form to the source, because it will not magnetize you, right? The source energy will not magnetize such discarded parts which are so opposite in nature, because it's just like, I don't know, the physics are different. Like the source energy will reject it, but a black hole will magnetize it. And what happens there in the black hole is once you enter the void, alchemy happens, and the whole process of dissolution and yeah, transmutation and all of that happens. I don't exactly know what happens, but these beings are not going back to the light energy, the source, none of that. And also it's almost like end of their existence. End of their existence. There's nothing there to save. Now when it comes to these beings, the draconians, there are also light draconians who are actually working with the whites. Okay, and it is the light draconians that are helping disintegrate the system that has been set up here on earth. So this disintegration is being carried out with the help of the draconians. So, and also they are so shrewd, so cunning, so like, what they have been doing, right? So far, like, they are manipulative as f. So what you need to do is you need the light draconians in order to defeat them. And before the World War II, this was almost impossible, all right, because of the level of consciousness that we were at. But after the World War II, as the volunteers came in, that shifted. And that was almost how many years ago? Mm, 80 years ago, more than 80 years ago, right? More than 80 years ago, yeah. So by 90 years, yeah, like in a few years. Okay, and that I think that coincides with the 2027, with the year 2027. Uh-huh. Yeah. Wow. Now, because the consciousness shift that has happened and still happening here on earth, it has allowed for many light draconians to come in, right? The the light workers, the star seeds, the volunteers that came in. So many draconians came in. So many star seeds have these draconian energy, light draconian energy. But the thing is, the nature of this energy is such that it's intense. It's also like a personal test for many star seeds, whether they will be able to transmute this energy or not in order to fully awaken to their purpose here on earth. So it's like when you have Draco codes in your DNA, it's not like it fully becomes light as soon as it's activated. No. First, when it's activated, it will take you down with it for a while. Yes, it's the intensity of the energy. That's what I'm talking about. It's the energy. And once you break that conditioning, once you overcome that darkness in your DNA, you become something else. You become what you are here for. And that is what is happening for the collective right now. It's victory. These Draco codes are being transmuted left and right. That is why the energy is still wonky. It is, the eclipse is over, but everybody's still like not okay. You've been through multiple awakenings, right? You have witnessed your darkness, you have faced your darkness, you've seen some stuff, you've experienced some stuff that I cannot even like talk about. But what I can tell you here, if you're here watching this reading, that spiritual warfare within your own being is over. And some of you, this has activated the light Draco part. So these are empowered empaths. That's who you are. Empowered empath. And the Starseed mission is connected to working with certain dark reptilians All right, and this has to have a signature of freedom where you're almost like you have to become comfortable in the chaos of it all. So this is again not denying your sensitivity and all of that, no, because there's immense protection here around you. There is, especially with her being here. It's like, okay, so these beings, these light workers, this special branch of light workers who are dealing, what you guys have like dealt with like really dark stuff. I mean, I cannot even explain this. And this is, fighting against your own shadow and other people's shadow. That, like, there are certain themes that you have witnessed, and those are the themes that you're here to fight against. That's all I'm going to say about it. Go back to your childhood. You know what it is. It's different for each one of you, but there's a connecting theme. And whatever it is, it did not break you. It was actually a well guided energy. You needed to experience certain things in order to understand, so that when this activation comes in, it brings in the needed enlightenment as well as healing. But look what is here: deep compassion for the cause. The water spirit is here. So yeah, a purpose, like a collective purpose, is being highlighted here. What else, spirit? What else? What else? Any final messages? Seven of Cups came out earlier too. What about it? Dream word, I feel like, yeah. Something about your mind, okay? Your mind needs to be in a space where you're clear. Like there is no haze. There is no dampening of your frequency. So this also like highlighting like, any coping mechanism, especially substances. You need to put it down. Fight against it. Some of you think like, I don't know, just I'm just here to tell you, you're not crazy. You're not crazy, okay? So chill. Certain things are hidden from you. Many of you have already tapped into what this is, and it could be a bit scary, but at the same time, it's time to be logical. And you can only be logical when you are creating healthy boundaries and you are in the space where you're able to discern for yourself from an intuitive knowing, an intuitive place, right? You have to reach a point where you can trust your gut instinct. So, in order to do that, the crutches need to go. And I feel it's happening soon, sooner than you know. Yeah, look at that sun underneath. The eclipse has shifted something big here, like big, big, big. Look at that. Here's your clarity. Look, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups. As soon as you walk away from your coping mechanisms and even escapism of any kind, you know what it is that you have to do. Spirit has made it very clear. Spirit has told you what's not good, what is hindering the activation actually. And again, this is who is up to it. Yeah, this is what you're up against, right? The Draconians. So yeah, they actually kind of they can a lot is gate kept, but if I'm being allowed to channel, then of course it's not gate kept. And if I can talk about it, they can also access it, right? Anyone can, because again, we are all functioning in a field, and yes, it has its gate kept pockets, but then at the same time, hackers exist, right? So they know what is up, and they know they're very afraid of this particular pocket of starseeds who have light draconian markings, because it's a match, right? It's a match. The light draconians know what they're doing because they know they're kind in a way. So yeah, that is what is happening. It is okay. I just noticed two cards we did not notice. Yeah, look, Six of Cups and the Hermit. The Hermit, and some really like this pocket of this Starseed collective is being washed heavily. Every move is being washed. Hiding away is almost impossible. It's not even possible. Yeah, anyway, so that's what I see. But just know that you guys are the ones responsible for sending the very plague away. Yeah, so away, like you're redirecting the plague to the nearest black hole so that it can be dissolved, transmuted, done with. I am being shown like a black hole, but light is emanating out of it. I always imagined a black hole to be pitch black, like jet black, but no, really. What I'm seeing here is it's like a it's like a ditch, but then light is emanating out of it. There's a special message here, especially for my fire signs. So if you have fire placements, this is a special message for you. I'm going to get some nakshatra cards for some reason. Being guided to. All right. Those are so many. Look at that, Mula. Ardra also came out, and Mula and Ardra, they're opposite nakshatras. Crazy. So yeah, Ardra came out first, and then we saw Mula, and then we saw Dhanishta. Okay. Shravan, Mrikshara, Pushya, Ashlesha, Ashwini. Yeah. This is a Mars ruled. This is your fire. Even this is Mars ruled. Ardra is. I'm not so sure. I think it's Mars ruled. So Rudra Nakshatra. Anyway, Pushya, Saturn ruled. Mercury ruled. Mula, Ketu ruled. My god, Mula! I've been talking about the black hole, the black hole. Mula is the black hole in the sidereal Sagittarius. Super interesting. So yeah, these are the nakshatras showing up. I hope this helps. If this resonates, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.